Told you it was an all-star night. With me in the Man Cave final time, he's going to go off and be a big brain in the United States for a little while, none other than the great Sam Crosby. Michael Kroger joins us from Melbourne, and he's coughing a little bit because, geez, the hairspray, the Persian princess, was just going ballistic during the ad break. But lovely to see you, Rockstar. Too long, my gorgeous.
I've missed you, Paul. I've missed you.
I missed you too, gorgeous. Poor Michael, he's going, I didn't need it. My hair's fine. Anyway, so some of the yes people won't take no for an answer. Let's take our pick here. Everything from Clover Moore saying I'll have my own voice through to the unsigned letter, which was pretty nasty yesterday, through to the Sheila on Q&A saying that it's time for a reckoning. Sam, you're now free to speak because there is no longer a party line. Do some people have to learn to take no for an answer?
Look, they do, but the problems haven't gone away, right?
Sure.
I will absolutely accept 60% of the country said no to a constitutional voice, obviously, right? So that proposal is dead, buried, cremated in Tony Abbott's favourite phrase. But the problems, but the problems haven't gone away, right?
Of course.
You were still talking about one of the most underprivileged areas. And, from the Yes campaigners' side, there's going to be a period where they're pretty unhappy. They feel pretty upset about the whole thing.
But I love that nobody seemed, Rita, I've got to say, while it wasn't the way that I voted, there were plenty of people who voted no in same-sex marriage. I don't remember an awful lot of their feelings afterwards and a week-long, 2-week, 3-week, 4 months conversation about the minority of people there or the no campaign, all the rest of it. But of course, elections don't matter anymore. It's only about which way booths vote in Palm Island. That's technically the way we're going to decide all elections from now on. Look, at some point, you have to take no for the answer, and it means the idea of this sort of separate representative body is not what Australians want.
No means no, Paul. I don't know how more simply I can put it. No means no. And having a mass tantrum, these absurd letters penned anonymously, at least have the courage to put your name to these words. It's not going to make any difference. If anything, it's alienating people even more. So if you had another vote, I would bet that it would be even a lower vote for the yes camp. Australians don't want racial separatism. They don't want racial privilege enshrined into our constitution. They made that clear. The yes camp had all the advantages. We know that. They had all the money, they had all the corporate support, they had the sporting bodies, the celebrities, the activist class, academia, the bulk of the media, and they still lost, and they lost resoundingly. So if the yes camp do want to have some of their agenda implemented, they need to have some self-reflection, not a tantrum.
Also, Michael, we see what the immediate play is. We said it, of course, the night after the referendum that the media is going to go full Trump on Dutton. Of course, they tried to suggest that he was, a referendum denier because of the ticks and crosses thing. Now, of course, multiple Thomas Mayo, all the rest of it, that if it wasn't for the evil libs, the Australian population would have still been back at 60-40 their way. How does Dutton compete against this? Because the reality is it's one thing for the yes-no campaign that's now been run, but we certainly know that when they turn up the noise on Morrison, the country either was already there or ended up there. They're going to do the same to Dutton. How does he get around that noise?
Completely different environment and different issue. Dutton needs to do exactly what he's doing, play a straight bat to all of this. As you've said and Rita said, this long period of unhappiness is damaging the yes case very badly. The result wasn't close, mate. It wasn't close. It was thumping. And it's headed towards a 38 in due course, I think. It's going to go below 39 if the counting trend continues. And the most important thing to note is this ongoing period of complaining about the democratic process is continuing to do Albanese a lot of damage because he's associated with this. He is now getting blamed for this. Why do I say that? Because the poll in the Financial Review tomorrow morning reveals that for the first time since the election, Albanese has lost his lead to Dutton. It's now 49 to Labor and 51 to the coalition.
Wow.
So Albanese is being stained by this because people are blaming him and his people, to use a phrase, for the ongoing complaining about the overwhelming majority of Australians. So this is continuing to damage him. And if this keeps going on and on and on, it's very hard for him to get clear air on cost of living. How does he get cost of living up if all we see every day is the more extreme elements of the Yes campaign, like this fellow Thomas Mayo, complaining about Australians having voted against his rather extreme proposal?